Alright, book notes on a 1994 box set of the Chronicles of Narnia series. Now, when I looked this up online, it said 1985, but when I pull the books out, it says copyright 1994. So I think it's a 1994 box set. I'm Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, and this is a book notes video that I'm filming today, Saturday, 28 September 2024, and I'm going through, it's the Chronicles of Narnia box set, 1994, Scholastic Inc. And so, in addition to the external, there's the different books of the series. There's 7 books in the Chronicles of Narnia series. And this is the Chronicles of Narnia copies that I grew up with. And so there's book 1, which is the Chronicles of Narnia, the Magician's Nephew. And this is the Chronicles of Narnia series is by the author C.S. Lewis. And then book 2 in the series, which, you know, I was like, is a second child. 2. How could this not be my favorite? No, this is the book that I have read the most times in my life. This is the book that I've read the most times. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Chronicles of Narnia, book 3 is The Horse and His Boy. The Chronicles of Narnia, book 4 is Prince Caspian. The Chronicles of Narnia, book 5 is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And this is actually, there was one summer I pulled this out and I decided to see and start with book 1 and see how far I read. Here's my bookmark. I got through part of book 5. And then book 6 is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Silver Chair. And book 7 is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Last Battle. And these books, they're what, the 1950s, if I'm recalling correctly. Look at these pages. Oh my gosh, it's like, that's like a real book. It's like one of those books from, like, you know, 700 years ago. Yeah, so this is the last book in the series, and the copyright is 1956. Whoa, that's right, over 60 years ago. But it's pretty good for a book. But that's like the story. This is the book itself is approximately 1 year younger than me. And so why am I bringing this? Well, I'm gonna have a Franz bagel original. Yeah. Okay. Why did I bring this up? And I should show a little bit of choose a book. Maybe I'll pick up where I left off. Let's start with book 5. Here's the bagel. I've talked about a box set for my super full set of biographies and autobiographies. I've talked about like a subset of that, doing a box set. I've talked very briefly in comparison about doing an autobiography as a box set. Oh, this one we're going to go through as an example. Book 5. And I think partially it's the box set is a unique selling system because I really loved The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe growing up, and still do. And so it's like, it's cool to know that there are other books in the series, and that's a lot of, I was not the best reader growing up. I struggled with it. I actually had to be in a reading class. My reading was so bad. It was special education, yeah. But this was one where I was like, but I love the book enough, maybe I read other books in the series. And so there was like the summer project of I'm home, and it was before, I think it was before I started working, or if I was working. That's a big spider. No. Move the books away from the spider. It's not a meaty one too. So anyway, I read these books because it was a box set. These are not books I would have checked out. So there is magic to the box set, and it feels magical still. So there's some. No, don't. Everywhere these days. Spider dead. Don't worry, it's just one. Yeah, I read it because of the box set. So there's magic to the box set of, if you want people to read more of your books and they form a series or something like that. That's why I have as my dream a final product of a box set, even if the books get written out of order. Because I know from experience that I'll read something I would not otherwise have read because it's in the same box set as a book I like. Whoa. The bookmark left in book 5. Books to read over break. All Chronicles of Narnia books. Rats. The Gadget. Star Split. The boxes. And then on the other side is Spring Break books. Animals in Their World in the Audubon Society Book of Wild Cats. I liked to read nonfiction even back then. Yeah, I'm a little weirdo. I love the pages. This is like maybe the first book where I love the smell of the books. Oh. They have the name of the book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. And then, I think it's chapter name. And then page numbers. They do have punctuation. There's a mouse with a sword. Repeat cheap. Oh, Nicolo, I love you. My Nicolo being a mouse was modeled after Repeat Cheap. If you didn't know who Repeat Cheap is, now you can read the book and find out who Repeat Cheap is. But my mouse, my Nicolo, Repeat Cheap. I didn't come up with the visual, but they have drawings and illustrations in the book. There's Repeat Cheap. There's Nicolo Martinenghi, you guys, back in the 1950s. That's how much I fell in love with it. I was like, I do remember that now. Yes, there's punctuation, but that was the punctuation between the wording and the numbers at the top of the page. Yeah, so I fell in love with Repeat Cheap. And there were mice and a bunch of books I read because I really loved rodents and had pet rodents. And Repeat Cheap was like, I want Repeat Cheap so much. What do I do with Repeat Cheap? So I eventually found Nicolo Martinenghi and was like, you're my Repeat Cheap. You got a tiny little rapier. I mean, you got a tiny little sword. A mouse has a sword. There you go. Page thickness. It's good thickness. I can't go like this. You can see the text through the other side, but in general not. And now you know Nicolo Martinenghi's mouse name is Repeat Cheap. Bookmark sticking too far out. rodents in literature are the best thing that have happened to humanity. Nicola goes beep cheep in human form. And I'll give the bagel a 20 out of 10. Thank you for joining me for this. No, in conclusion, happy 30 years of age to this box set. Happy 30 years of age. We both are what, in the 30 plus category.